My name is Masi Nyambura Maina, and this is my testimony. There are certain teachings that if you receive them, you will never live your life the way you live it. There are certain things that if they are revealed unto you, you will never unsee them. There are certain secrets that if the Lord Jesus Christ gives you, you just can't keep them to yourself, because these kind of secrets, they save lives. See, when Jesus Christ said that he was going to give us life, he meant it. It is his prophecy being fulfilled through us as witnesses. I'm going to give you biblical teachings that fulfill the teachings of our Lord Jesus Christ. What he has been trying to teach us since the beginning, and we have been too ignorant in the lies of Satan to understand or see it as he saw it. So when the veil of the devil comes out of your eyes, you are able to see. Veil of the lies that the devil has been feeding you come out of your eyes, you are able to see. So that is what we are going to do. We are going to unveil the lies of Satan by giving you a true life story of who I am and who I was and what the Lord God has done for us. In this way, you're going to understand who God is, and you're going to understand who Satan is. I'm going to read from the book of Galatians. It is the first teaching that we are going to use to illustrate everything I now know. It comes from Galatians chapter 1 verses 11, and it says, "Let me tell you, my brothers and sisters, that the gospel I preach is not of human origin. I did not receive it from any human being, nor did anyone teach it to me. It was Jesus Christ himself who revealed it to me." I want you to understand something right now, that I am not speaking out of my own accord, neither am I doing these things because I want any kind of acknowledgement or adoration. The reason as to why I give you these stories, and the reason as to why I'm going to give such biblical teachings, is because I want you to see the patterns of the enemy, because you cannot tackle a subject unless you start from the beginning. You cannot fight the enemy unless you know who you are fighting, and you cannot love your God unless you know which God you are loving. Do you understand? Because the kind of posture we want when we are coming to Jesus Christ is the kind of posture that leads to acknowledgement of who he is in our lives. It is the kind of posture that leads to learning, transformation, revival, and restoration. If you have started a relationship with God, but you see no kind of changes in your life, your posture is at the wrong place. Maybe you love something else more than you love God, and it starts with knowing what that something is. Sometimes it looks like a distraction. Sometimes it looks like a hobby. Sometimes it looks like a pattern. It looks like something that you do every day, something that takes away the time that you should give unto Jesus Christ. So with my own experiences, I am going to teach you the ways to unmask the lies of the enemy. Because let me tell you something, Ecclesiastes teaches us that there is nothing new that happens in this world, which means the enemy never learns something new. He is learning your patterns, the same patterns that the people before you used to have, the same pattern that the Israelites used to have, the same patterns that the first man used to have. See, the reason as to why Adam and Eve were tricked by the enemy is because they wanted more power than they had in that moment. They wanted to be like God. And this is why Eve was tricked into eating the apple, because she wanted to be like God. Her desires were more than what God had given her. It is the same thing that we do today. You want something that God has not given you, and so your desires lead you to sin. You want something that God has not said yes to, and so you decide you're going to take matters in your own hands. That is how we live. From the beginning of time, the same errors, the same mistakes that the first man and woman did in their first journey with God is the same things that we repeat today. They just look fancier. Before I received Jesus Christ, I was a porn star. Before my life with Jesus Christ, I was an alcoholic. Before my life with Jesus Christ, I was acting as though I was a prostitute. Before my life with Jesus Christ, I had so many lovers that were not Jesus Christ. I loved everything else but Jesus Christ. I used to have time for everything else but Jesus Christ. Before my life with Jesus Christ, I was a depressive. I was suffering from depression. I was suffering from anxiety. I was suffering from addiction. I used to tell myself that I am not an addict because I could handle my alcohol. I used to tell myself that I'm not an addict because I could go weeks without drinking. I could decide to go to a club and not drink. I used to tell myself that I was not an addict because I never used to serial date. I would tell myself that I am not an addict because I would choose one man, and then for 1 week we would be together. Then when we break up, I would try to heal my wounds by finding a better man. So what I used to tell myself is that I would lie to myself that I am not an addict, but truly I was. I was an addict of trying to numb my pain with all the things that the world can offer. So this one time, I was dating this man. Okay, I met this man, and I decided, look, okay, if this man is just so supportive with me, let me tell him what I learned. I learned that Ruby Rose had earned so much money from doing OnlyFans. It is the time that her story was trending. And then I tell my guy that I want to join OnlyFans because I want to create opportunities for myself. This is what I said. I do not want to be codependent in you. I want to be independent. And so I want to have money coming in for myself. The other thing that had happened with this man is that his wealth was running out. He did not have income because he had retired. And so for me, that was like a dangerous place to be. I wanted to be able to buy the best hair, live in the best apartment. I wanted to have all these good things. I wanted to be the most prettiest girl in the club, drinking the most expensive alcohol. That is who I wanted to be. And let me tell you something. I wanted to be dignified by the people. I wanted to be given validation by the people. I had no boundaries whatsoever. And in fact, I know you too have no boundaries whatsoever, because you will lie to yourself. You have some boundaries because you cannot date some kind of man. You have boundaries because you do not allow some kind of girls around you. You have boundaries. All these things are called lies. It is what the enemy feeds to replicate what he wants to do to you, which is take your life, which is drive you away from Christ, which is to keep you blinded by your own stupidity. It is so that he can keep you in your foolishness, because when you are too busy feeling yourself, when you're too busy being a victim, you will not see that you are a warrior. That you will not notice what he notices inside of you. You will not notice that you have a jewel, a treasure inside of you. You will be too busy looking at all the things that are wrong with you. Because if he can actually take your eyes away from the prize, he can steal you, he can kill you, and he can destroy you. Do you understand? Before I found Jesus Christ, I was just a distraction to myself. Before I started gaining life through Christ, I was killing myself. Before I actually gained Christ, I was selling my soul. And all of us are selling our soul one way or another. Maybe you love alcohol so much. Maybe you love weed so much. Maybe you love men so much. Maybe you love women so much. Maybe you love sex so much. Maybe you love all these perversions and immoralities that you'd call just being who you are. Do you know that God created you in his own image and his likeness? He never allowed for intermarriages. He never allowed for woman and woman sexual relations. He never allowed for man and man sexual relations. So where does your lust come from? Because I can tell you right now that desire is of the enemy. That desire, that perversion that we call LGBTQ, that thing for wanting to be in part of a community, because you feel like you do not belong, so you need to find yourself a place where you belong. You belong with Jesus Christ. You belong with your Father. But you cannot be your Father's child because you're busy being Satan's child. Because you're busy doing what Satan fed you. Because you're busy staying in that lie. Let's just start with the first one. So while I was dating this guy, I realized that, you know what? I need to have my own ways of buying things, going anywhere I want. I need to find a way of being independent. And so I started my OnlyFans. That time, I did not care what anybody says. I did not care who told me what. Because after all, you're not paying my bills. Is that not what we lie to ourselves when we start wearing those miniskirts and go to clubs so that we can fish for rich men? Is that not what you tell yourself when you go and sit at the hotel lobby so that you can wait for that white man? Is that not what you lie to yourself, that you are looking for a better future because you need school fees for your child? Is that not what you tell yourself? Is that not the lie that the enemy has made you believe? You have not taught your child about the Bible, but you're busy trying to take her or him to a curriculum that will not make him a better man or a better girl. That is what we do. You are feeding your child the lie that the same society fed you. And let me tell you something, that the devil has put himself in the places we could never even think about. So here I am selling myself for dollars, right? And this is after I realized that outside was cold. This is after I realized that men rape women outside. Men wait for you to get drunk so that they can use you when you are sleeping and you are half awake and half asleep. And then they will call it that you brought yourself to me. What do you expect? They will say that you were wearing a miniskirt. That is why I put my fingers in you. They will have all these decisions. They will have all these explanations. They will have all these statistics to prove their arrogance. To prove their arrogance. The same way women, we will have all these statistics. We will have all these justifications and validations of why we wear the way we wear. My dress, my choice, in it. That's another lie. You dress who you are. The same way you are addressed. Do you understand? You dress who you are. You can yap and say you are a wife, but what you do shows completely different. The same way you can yap and say you love Jesus Christ, but you are living as though you're a child of Satan. Do you understand? This is after me realizing that the men outside, they just don't have manners. And what I need is stability. I used to tell myself that security comes from a man with money, not just any man. The same lie that we keep telling ourselves as women every day, that you will not date a poor man because you want a rich man, because you want to satisfy your own desire. You want to create a life for yourself. Let me tell you something, that the devil learns the patterns that we have. Eve wanted to be a god, and you want to be a god too. Adam followed a god because he could not do what he wanted to do. You see, I hear men saying that it is Eve that sinned, but what was Adam doing? What is Adam doing? I mean, he could have used his own understanding of God to do what God wanted him to do. He could have been obedient to the word of God, and he could have said to Eve, my dear, you cannot be eating this apple because the Lord said, we shall not be eating this apple. As I was telling you, I am looking at my future. I am looking at a future where I can be able to be independent and never depend on a man. Because we have sold ourselves the lie that you need to be independent, right? You need to make a future for yourself. It is called selfishness. It is an obsession with self. Because you want something and you cannot get it from somewhere else, you will create a way for yourself to get that, come what may. It does not matter what you will do, what you will sell, what you will lose, as long as you can gain a future in this world. As long as you can own a big house and the best car. As long as you can have wealth and you can flaunt it on Instagram. As long as you can preach how you are a manifestation queen. As long as you can preach how God has been doing it for you while you're living in sin. Who lied to you, my dear? So here I am, right? I've started OnlyFans. And I kid you not, I have all these subscribers. So much so it made me believe this is what I was meant for. So much so that I actually thought this is my future. Here is the keys to the house, darling. So much so I had no time to contemplate how this would look on my other family. So much so I did not care what they would say. After all, I have been living without them. After all, it is my life. It is my future. So I get to do what I want to do. After all, I am 18 and I have an ID. After all, I'm an adult, no? That is what we lie to ourselves, isn't it? It is my future. I will do whatever I want. You see, when I got onto OnlyFans, I could not withdraw the money, right? Because I had not verified my PACSUM. I did not have enough credentials to do so. By the time I was withdrawing this money, I had earned $700. Now, you tell me, if you are me, if you would ever quit. You earned $700. By what? Stripping and dancing for you? And I thought, this is power. I have power in my hands. And then there was that saying that you have the power to do anything that you want, baby girl. I mean, you were a temptress, are you not? You are a seductress. You can do this thing. I mean, you move and people turn their heads. You move and you wear that dress and everybody looks at you from head to toe. They admire you. That feeling starts getting into your head, doesn't it? Because you have the power to speak so nice and cute. I mean, all men stop to hear you speak. All of a sudden, I am a god. All of a sudden, I am Eve. And all of a sudden, I am taking a very huge chunk of that fruit. All of a sudden, I have the confidence to become who I want to be. A porn star. And a very successful one at that. I will tell you how the devil woos you. The same time I am doing all this, there was this blogger. He decided to write a story on me, calling me one of the most thriving content creators. You see, he was saying the truth because I had just moved out from the hostel that had bed bugs. I no longer have to cry on who is going to buy me food today. I can feed myself. Do you understand? I am living in a one-bedroom apartment. Like, I am where I was meant to be. On top of that, I can earn my money, and I also have a man who is giving me money. I can go out to a nightclub and drink as I want to drink. I can eat what I want to eat. I have my freedom finally. So here I am feeling good about myself. You see, the first years were the most happiest of my years. That moment I felt like everything was in alignment. It felt like a manifestation had come to life. It felt like independence had come near my door, and I opened that door gladly. It felt like I will no longer have to deal with men who are arrogant and who do not know how to deal or feed me or be good to me, because now I have my own cash. You see, you would think that that would have been enough for me, but no. I would go outside because something else is missing. Now I have my own money, but I am missing fitting in. I am missing social status. I am missing to be recognized. I am missing to be wanted, desired, and I want everybody to see my power. You see, the one thing that I was really good at is dancing. Ask anybody who knows me. I can really dance. And you know, I can also dance to turn all those heads around, and it made me feel really good. Because I have all this goodness in me. Like, God created me and I look this good, so why not? And so when I'm wearing those tiny little skirts and those really long heels, I can really catwalk. I can really show them who I am. I can really make them recognize me. I can really make them know that I've entered the room. I may not be seated at the VIP, but let me tell you, honey, you're gonna notice me. So every time that I used to do this pattern, it got really good to me. It tasted like, I love the way this makes me feel. And so it became a drug to me. You see, we start picking up addictions, changing one addiction for another. First it is alcohol. Then it is the way they look at you. Then it's the way you catwalk and how they are tantalized by you. It is how the mood changes when you walk into the room. It is how your enemy, the one that you've not been speaking to, recognizes that you are moving better. Your class is changing. It is when they start recognizing that you can actually pay your own bills and you have left them where they used to be. So now you're feeling as though you've got something going on for yourself. You see, when Satan gave Jesus Christ the offer of, I am going to give you everything that you see, he showed him the beauty of what he was giving him, not the consequence. You see, when the devil is giving you a contract, he never tells you that at the end of that contract is death. No, he gives you a contract that says, I am going to give you wealth, I'm going to give you freedom, I'm going to give you love, I'm going to give you peace, I'm going to give you everything that you want. But he never says the end of that sentence, no? Because if you knew that he was going to take your life, you would never sign this contract, would you? If you knew that he was going to sell you, to the highest bidder, you would not accept it, would you? If you knew that he was going to con you out of your life, Out of your life savings. Let me actually use something that you may understand. If you knew a man is going to con you out of your life savings, you probably would not have invested that money in his business. You probably would not have started the journey of, let me see if I can multiply my 1,000 to 20,000. You could not have given that hard-earned cash to that person, because you would have known it's a lie. But because con men are very good at what they do, they never show you the consequence. They never actually steal from you when you are active. They never steal from you when you are alert. They steal from you when they have wooed you and they have bought your trust. So the devil will woo you, okay? He will give you the first year of earning your money. He will give you the first year of having that house, that man that spoils you. He's going to give you that year that you do not have any STDs or any STIs. He's going to give you that year where the man you are with is not cheating on you, but you are giving him back to front, center, and left. Because what? He has lied to you that this is your husband. Where is the ring? Did you go in front of God and commit that relationship to God? I bet not. But yet you are there calling yourself a wife. To who? To who? I used to think I was a wife, you know. I used to tell myself, I am not like any other women out there. Do you know what my difference was with the other women? It's that I'm not sleeping around. But I do have that one guy, though, that if he calls me, I'll put everything down to go and see him. But what is he doing? He is sleeping around because he's not my boyfriend. I'm not his girlfriend. It is what I wanted to be. It is what I convinced myself in my little head, that I wanted this man to be my husband. The same way many of you want that man to be your husband, isn't it, huh? Shiko, you are sleeping next beside that man, but every day you leave and go to your own house. Until the next weekend, he will not communicate with you. But when he calls, you'll go running. Honey bunny, what has he been doing? Because was he working? Oh, that is very beautiful. But he didn't have time to text you? That is also very beautiful. But when he calls you for a night, like you will go running, right? And then the next morning he's going to give you Uber money, or he's going to send you money to do your nails, and then he's going to convince you that he is a provider. And then you're going to continue selling your soul to the devil by giving him what you should be keeping together for your husband, for the future husband that the Lord God has dedicated for you. The limb of your limb, you're going to separate yourself from him because you cannot handle being alone in this moment. Are you seeing the hypocrisy of the things that we do? You see, we keep telling ourselves that somebody needs to come and give you a pen so that you can sign the deal with the devil. We keep telling ourselves that it is only musicians and artists that are selling themselves to the devil. Honey, we have all sold the soul to the devil. Because why? Have you accepted Jesus Christ today? Oh no. Okay, so who are you serving today? Yeah, did you stop cheating today? No? Okay. Did you stop fornicating today? No? Okay. So did you stop abusing drugs today? So no. All the answers are no, right? Did you stop going to that boy's house who does not bring you closer to God? Oh no. You're hoping he's your future husband. No. Did you stop banging that girl that is not your wife? Leaving your wife in the house? No. You still think that she's better at cowgirl, right? This is why you keep on cheating and committing adultery against your wife. All right. Come on, your wife was not giving it to you. This is why you did it. Wake up. Wake up. You have not said yes to Jesus Christ, right? You are doing all the things that I have listed and then more. And you want to say you're a child of God. No. Let me tell you something. You have a father, but he's not the father in heaven. I had a father before I had Jesus Christ. I was doing all the things that I have said to you right now. I was fornicating. I committed adultery because I slept with a man who had a wife. I was abusing drugs. I was drinking. I was smoking weed. I was taking codeine. I had tested crack. I had tested, what is this? Cocaine. So, is that the temple of God still? Yeah, you would have asked me that before and I would have told you, yeah. But it wasn't, was it? It was a temple of Satan where I could deposit every curse word that he had given Jesus. It was the temple of Satan where I could do whatever I wanted to do to mock Jesus once again. It was where I could find a man and then I would sleep with him because I want to numb the pain of rejection. It is where I would tell myself, as long as this man is giving me money, I can give him me. It is where I was selling myself in the name of, I just want a better life. It is where I could say, he's spoiling me. For what? Because I do not think it is because you've not been sleeping with him. Because if he was your husband, he would actually lead you closer to God and not closer to Satan. Because if he was the man you were meant to marry, he would wait to be with you, to consummate your marriage in bed. He would wait to put a ring on it because he's a godly man. But because he has no godliness in him, he also does not know how to lead you close to God. So it is the blind leading the blind, all right? It is the dead leading the dead to death. It is the children of Satan doing what their father wants. You see, you would think I am trying to abuse you, but you want to visit John. Let me read that chapter for you. Because the last thing I would want you to think is that I do not have feelings. The last thing that I would want you to do is think I'm calling you out of arrogance. The last thing that I would want Satan to tell you today is that this girl does not know what she is saying. The one thing that I do not want for you is Satan making you his puppet. For 26 years, I have been a puppet for Satan, doing his bidding, even when I did not know it was his bidding, what I called my life. You see, you have one person who you give your life to, and if it is not Jesus Christ, just know that you have given your life to Satan. You see, you can tell yourself whatever you want to tell yourself to debate with me, but I am going to tell you, read your word. Because if you read the word, you would know what I'm telling you right now is real as the sun during the day. It is real as the moon during the night. Everything that I am going to teach you, everything that I am going to speak about to you, you best believe I've been there, done that, and still know that it is a lie. And can assume that you do not because you're still doing it. Because you're still moving around as though you do not have somebody who owns you. Your master in heaven is the owner of the vessel that you flex with, right? That vessel that you are misusing, it has an owner. His name is Jesus Christ. That temple that you are defiling when you pretend to go to church on Sunday, you are defiling the actual important church to God, and that is yourself. I am going to read from John chapter 8, verses 31. The truth shall set you free. So Jesus said to those who believed in him, if you obey my teaching, you are really my disciples. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. We are the descendants of Abraham, they answered, and we have never been anybody's slaves. What do you mean then by saying you will be free? Jesus said to them, I am telling you the truth. Everyone who sins is a slave of sin. Did you understand? Anybody who does what our God do not want him to do is a slave of his sin, of exactly what God told you not to do. You see, we were given 10 commandments by God in the beginning, right? He told Moses to write them on the tablet. And you have been taught those same 10 commandments in CRE. How many of you remember those 10 commandments? You probably do not, because it never involved you. You never thought it was that serious, so you never really thought about obeying them. You never thought that they were important because you were just a child. I mean, what could you know about commandments? Like, what could you know about God? I mean, you're just a baby. Okay, God will excuse you because you are a baby. You are a toddler, like you are so young, you are in nursery school. But how about now, sir? How about now, ma'am? Do you still have that excuse? Do you still say that I am still young. I'm just a baby. I do not know what wrong and right is. Are you still excusing yourself? They did this to me, so why would I actually forgive them? Are you still saying that oh, nobody respect? Because I mean, I am me, they are them. Your arrogance is still a king over you, right? Your lust is still a queen over you. You are feeding your ego every day because I mean, it's you.